So Kev, 5 games into the season and we've still got this unbeaten run. How important is that as a platform to build on for the rest of the campaign?
Yeah, listen, I think it's a decent start. You can look at it and go, could we possibly on more points? But that's going to happen in football. Pleased in terms of the performance of the weekend and the chances created. Disappointing we couldn't take all 3 points, but you're coming up against a team that haven't conceded Hartlepool, and we created a number of chances, which is the positive. And the day we would have got maybe 1 or 2 more, but we didn't get the amount of points we wanted. But pleased with the lads and how they overcome a difficult period of games.
You mentioned that period of games, 4 games in 9 days. How impressed were you with sort of the impacts of some of the squad players that came in to make an impact in those games where there's little turnaround time?
Yeah, I think you try and plan it as much as possible. We never take anyone lightly in terms of every opponent we treat the same, and we had the travel, of course, with Truro and a quick turnaround and a hot day Monday. So in terms of fitness levels, really good, and the attitude of the lads that didn't get to play, because players all want to play, and I understand that, and the most difficult thing at the minute is trying to do what's best for the team, and maybe resting 1 or 2 or changing 1 or 2 in areas that we think that we're quite strong.
It's not been a full week, but it's a bit more of a break between the 2 fixtures that the one we've just had and the one on Saturday. How important has that been in terms of taking stock and seeing where everyone is? Yeah,
I think it's important that they got a little bit of rest this week, because we go Saturday, Tuesday again, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. So important they got that bit of rest. We worked hard today, and we'll be ready for Saturday. So yeah, a bit of both, reflect on the games, which we've done, and look forward to what's coming up.
And looking at Solihull, they picked up points against some of the top teams in this league already. What are you expecting in terms of them from a challenge point of view? Yeah,
listen, know Matt really well, and a brilliant guy, and we know how organised they'll be. And they'll be desperate to do well, and they'll come in with a plan against us, I'm sure, like we will. So, we go there. That I think it's been okay for us recent years going to Solihull, but a tough game, against an organised side. They've got aspects of their game which they'll try and hurt us with. They've got a throw coming in the box. Dan Queenie's a threat, of course, and they've got some good players. But listen, we keep talking about ourselves and getting ourselves right, and that's the first and foremost.
Thanks, Kev.
Okay.
Kevin, over these 5 games where you've been unbeaten, you picked up points in 5 different ways, I suppose. It's fair to say. Which of those games has been your favourite one so far, and why?
That's a good question. For all different reasons, I think to go to Gateshead and start well was important, and we've had to. Truro was such a difficult game. Tamworth, different challenges. York, another one. And Hartlepool are going really well. So all different challenges, and we know that from this league. There's nothing is ever easy. When you come off it, then you'll come unstuck. And that's the message to the players. And in terms of how you approach it, you've got to be bang at it. You listen. You watch Grimsby and Man United last night. That happens at the levels. How many leagues be apart there, but Man United aren't at it. Guess what happens? You're going to come unstuck. And that's no different. And I've got credit to these players who train properly all the time. And if you do that enough, then your performances generally come out. And we've got to keep doing that.
Yeah, you met thinking about your post-match interview from Monday. I mean, you're really pleased with the performance, just getting that second goal out of those chances that you had. So how have you been working on that this week?
Well, no, as I say, we're back in training today. So listen, sometimes the games goes like that. More the chances fell to our forwards, which is what you want. Charlie's been clinical so far, and I think for him it's keep getting in there. That's the most important thing. Keep getting yourself them opportunities, and you'll score goals because he's a good finisher. Same with Dallows. You can see he's getting fitter and stronger, so his goals will come. And for everyone else chipping in, saying Austin's got goals. So pleased with him.
Yeah, it's been really interesting talking to Andy just before you came here. His mentality just seems so strong. How important is that sort of thing from him coming into this squad as well? Yeah,
listen, he wants to score goals. You can see that in training the quality of his finishing, and he'll get fitter and stronger the more games he plays, because obviously he didn't play too much in pre-season, and I think even Monday I thought he might start flagging a bit earlier than that, but he seemed to get a bit stronger as the game went on, and I was pleased with him in that.
And at the other end of the pitch, I think Ben Goodliff is getting lots more plaudits as well. You must be really happy with what you're seeing from him in the heart of that back trio.
Yeah, pleased. We know what we're getting with Ben, from the end of last season, so that's no surprise. I think, pleased that Joe Gubbins has come in and done well, which is needed when you've got a squad when Ralphie's out. But pleased, but loads more to do. Loads more to keep pushing. I think it's important we don't talk about what we've done well. It's what you're going to do going forward.
You mentioned Nathan there, just an update on him, and I know Josh Walker just missed out over the weekend.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, Josh hasn't trained. Ralphie's with the physio today out on the grass doing a bit of running and stuff, so we'll just see how he reacts to that. He's had a scan, so we're just waiting on results of that.
Now, Solihull Moors at the weekend, early kick-off on Saturday as well, but in recent years you've got some great results against them as well.
Yeah.
How do you rate that?
Yeah, listen, you've got to turn up, bring your best version of yourselves, and know you're playing an opposition who are going to do the same and want to get result. You know, they've had one or two good ones, one or two disappointing ones, I'm sure. I know they lost at home to Aldershot. Yeah, when you watch them games, there's not a lot in games at times at this level, and it's about people taking the opportunities at the right time. So we're under no illusions, you know, how tough it will be there, but one we're looking forward to.
I mean, on paper, as you say, you look at them and they haven't got a win yet, so on paper you'd think, just go there, but what dangers can that pose when you face a team like that?
Yeah,
that for?
Always, I think, you look at results right throughout this league, I'll always tell you that. You know, I think Woking and York at the weekend on Monday. Yeah, I don't think it's too much. You've got to turn up on the day, you know, and we should be in a decent place, I think, the players, you know, in terms of a squad and what we look like. But listen, we treat everyone with the same amount of respect going into games, and we'll prepare properly, and hopefully we can perform.
I suppose it's funny thinking about this one. Obviously, since Southend came internationally, you look at the last couple of seasons where those teams have gone. Some of them have kind of run away with the league. Others, and you look at this season where you have got Forest Green, York, Carlisle coming down. There's other teams in the mix. So, do you think this has potential maybe to be one of the most competitive seasons that National League seasons Southend have been in up to this point?
Possibly, yeah. I think that'll play out. You know, I think, as you say, you talk about the teams that you think might be up there. I think there's always one or two that will surprise people and have good team spirit, good quality within that. And things have got to go right for you, you know, as the season goes in terms of injuries and what that looks like. So, you know, it's early days, you know, and who knows? You can't think too far ahead, because if you're doing this game, you can come unstuck.
Thanks, good.
Thank you.
How's an indication of how long Josh Walker's going to be out for? Yeah, or?
Not at the minute. No, he hasn't been out in the grass. Hopefully, it's not too bad, but nothing as of yet.
And is Goodliff all right? He seemed to be moving quite heavily after the game on Monday. Has he trained, or what's his?
Yeah, he done a little bit, only a part of the train. He had a bit of a dead leg off the back of that Monday. So yeah, not too bad. He's generally quite tough on it. So hopefully he'll be okay.
Yeah, and with Charlie Kendall, you could really see how frustrated he was with himself, wasn't it? Missing those opportunities. When that happens, do you lift him, or I guess he's used to that at this stage of his career, or have you said anything to him, or where's he at?
No, I was having a chat with Charlie, and I think the good thing is you're getting chances. That's the most important thing. Charlie's shown he can finish. He's a good finisher. What you can't let is fester, and you've got to go after the next one. You know, that's the life of a goal scorer and a forward, that it's going to happen. Be more worried if he wasn't getting chances.
Yeah, I haven't asked you for a few weeks. I know we've got quite a good squad, but is there any news on ins and outs or anything at this stage?
Not at the minute, no, nothing.